Yeah.
Hello?
Yeah.
Sup, King?
Yes. What do you want to debate about?
Yo. Well, first off, I just want to say thank you for everything you do. You're awesome. Like, if I had to name one American leftist, I think there is only one, and I think it's you. I think it's Haas the Cruel, Infrared Show. So thank you for all the work
Appreciate
you
it.
do. And yeah, for real. I really appreciate you. Like, I don't disagree with you on most things. So yeah, keep up the good work. Everybody loves you. And the
Appreciate
people
it.
and the people who hate you just don't love you yet. That's all. Really. So, but
Appreciate
no.
it.
Well, I posted in chat. Honestly, I didn't think people would freak out on me, but because I said the same thing about Derek Chauvin. But I posted this on Facebook too. Rittenhouse would get the death penalty. Now,
Why?
it's actually they don't have capital punishment, so or Illinois. So, so wait, did you say why?
Yeah.
Because he's a murderer. He murdered people.
Yeah, but why? You realize it was like self-defense, right?
Uh, to a degree, right? Like, if you go, if okay, if you go out in public with an assault rifle, you're like, to me that's already that's what's it called when you it's attempted murder. If you go out and you have a weapon ready for murder, that's attempted murder on anybody who comes close
That's
to you.
not true. Americans have a culture of LARPing with open carry.
Yeah. Oh, I know. Yeah, no, I know. But to me, like that's I'm not saying it's official, like because the American justice system is anything but
That's
really
just
just a
not how our
system.
culture is, though. You know, maybe in a
Yeah,
different culture, then
you're right.
that's what that would be. But that's just not the culture we live in. We don't live in a culture where that's what that means.
Uh, yeah, no, you're right. We live in a very authoritarian, consumer based culture. That
Well, we live in a culture that's a gun culture, and people really don't brandish guns with the intention to actually use them. They just display them as a form of LARP because Americans do like to LARP. Americans like LARPing and they like, pretending like they're in scenarios that they actually aren't, and that's just how Americans are.
so you're saying mass shootings don't happen in America?
They do, but that's not just because someone is open carrying doesn't imply there's going to be a mass shooting. Those are premeditated and deliberate things that people plan out to do, but
Yeah.
that's not the same thing as the culture of open carry that exists in the U.S.
Well, okay, so culture of open carry, like, because I've been debating this.
People listen. People like to be in zombie apocalypses. They like to have scenarios where they're in wars, or they're in they're doing this, they're doing that. That doesn't mean they actually want to end up using it.
But they do.
When as far as I can see, Rittenhouse did it because he was severely attacked by a bunch of people who really did look like they wanted to do him harm and possibly deadly harm.
Yeah, because he had an assault rifle and was
Yeah,
ready
but
to murder
that's
them.
no. He had one just because it's open carry. No one. He wasn't threatening anyone. He wasn't telling anyone he's gonna murder them.
That
So
Haas, I know you're smarter, man. Come on. You're first off, if we're gonna assume anything about like how this kid feels, right? We like
people
I
who
don't
carry
understand how you can't
AR-15s
attack
at
him like you
protests.
attack.
Listen, people. It doesn't matter. Maybe you're saying, "Oh, he was being intimidating." Well, then you should bring your own to the protest, or maybe I would say, don't even go to the fucking protest in the first place. But you can't use that as an excuse to attack someone and engage in lethal force. Oh, they're threatening me. Well, no.
Well, I'm not.
The law of the land is that open carry is allowed, and also we have a culture of open carry, which very clearly doesn't mean you're going to use deadly force just because you're carrying one around.
Well,
Now,
I
is
feel like you're suggesting that you would be okay with bringing back gun dueling, but you're
no,
anti
I'm not.
capital
I'm just
punishment.
saying you can't complain about feeling intimidated because that's just how our culture is, and that's also what's a matter of the law. And you're free to bring your own AR-15 if you feel that intimidated and you need the protection. But otherwise, you can't say like, oh, he brought an AR-15 and therefore that justifies violence because I felt threatened by it. Because,
But well, because I'm not an idiot.
like for example, let's
Rifle,
say in a different context, you were just sitting in your house randomly and someone just showed up in your house with a gun. Yeah, I get that. That's clearly a threat, even if they're not pointing it at you or whatever. That's a context that justifies it as a threat. But we live in a culture and a society where open carry is a fairly common thing. It's especially common at these recent protests. And you can't say, oh, we were all threatened because he had an AR-15 and this justified the violence.
Yes, I can, and I will continue to. And even though, like,
yeah, but you're not being honest when you say that. You're just not being honest.
Okay, look, if I see anybody with an assault rifle, if I see anyone with an assault rifle, first off, I'm not going to run up and try to like punch him in the head. Okay, that's number one. That's on my do not do list. Okay, and two, I'm going to get out of his line of sight immediately because I don't want to get shot in the fucking head and die. Okay.
Well, listen, that's what you can do. That's you're free to do that, but
yeah,
you can't use it as an excuse for violence.
Okay, so you're saying if I walk onto the highway and I get run over, right? You're trying to say, oh, well, why did you assume they were going to run you over? It's like, no,
that's not true at all.
Because I went onto the highway and I got
listen,
run over.
That analogy doesn't work in any way, okay?
Look,
so when you're walking on the highway, right? In that case, you know cars are coming. You're walking in front of the cars. They're probably going to run you over. You're not even allowed to walk on the fucking highway.
I had to run over because my cat was on the other side. I had to save my cat.
Well, you know the cars are moving at a fast pace, and you walked in front of them.
They ran me over, and I died. And you're going to be like,
yeah, but here's the thing: we have an open carry culture that in no way implies the same likelihood of gun violence as cars on the highway imply that they're not going to stop for you because it's a stupid analogy, dude.
No, it's not a stupid analogy.
Yes, it fucking is. It's fucking stupid.
You're trying to say that assault rifles just existing out in the open are somehow not threatening, and that a 2-ton car moving at 70 miles per hour is also not threatening? Like, what the fuck?
The car is not threatening. It is 100% sure and certain to run you over. There's like no chance a car is going to be able to stop in the middle of the highway.
Driving at you 70 miles per hour, you're going to tell me you're not going to feel a little...
That's called... A car is not a threat, it's a promise. A car is not a threat, it's a promise, okay? It will happen. You will get run over if you run in the middle of the highway. There's almost 100% guarantee of that.
Tell the Charlottesville protesters that.
What does that have to do with anything?
Well, they got run over by a car and fucking killed, right? So you're telling me, and you're like, oh, well, it wasn't a threat because the car, you can get out of the way. Like, come on, man.
No, that's not what I said. I said if you go on... You didn't... Listen, you misunderstood what I just fucking said. I said on the highway, if you run on the highway, it's not just a threat, it's a promise. It's not like... the car is going to threaten to run you over. The car will run you over because it's already moving at 70 miles an hour and you're on the highway where you're not supposed to be, right? So I don't know why you're bringing up some other example. What I'm trying to say is that in the case of someone carrying an AR-15, it's not true. A better comparison would be like someone's already shooting and you run in front of the gunfire. Well, that would be similar to running in front of a highway. But just because someone is brandishing or open carrying at a protest does not in any way necessarily imply that they're going to use it.
Well, we're getting a little off topic because originally my point is that he deserves the death penalty. I've been arguing against.
Why does he deserve the fucking death?
You
know what? Let me ask you a question. Do you really think he deserves the death penalty, or are you just whipped up on a frenzy on this polarization, and you just want to assume the ultra left position? You just want to you hate Rittenhouse not because of anything that actually happened, but because it's a tribalistic thing where you just hate the guy who represents the right wing and you want to have the most extreme tribal position possible.
No, I both. First off, both. I agree with both those positions, and also I have both those positions, and also I want him to have the death penalty to terrify any fan that he might have. I want to strike.
That's not going to terrify. That's not going to terrify that would not terrify any fan. That's just going to inflame the anger of 50% of this country even more.
Really? You didn't see him bawl on in court?
Yeah, I don't know what his reasons for doing that were, but
no, they're totally impervious to fear. Like, come on.
yeah, you're not
He's
listen.
terrified, and he's pissing and shitting his pants on the fucking trial on the stand because he doesn't want to go to prison
he's being
terrified.
Listen, I think are you trying to imply that all the conservatives are crying like he is instead of being outraged? Because him crying actually just made them more angry.
Well, most cops are afraid to get the vaccination, right? So if you're gonna like, my line of thinking here is
because the vaccination. Hold on, and that's because the vaccination, just like the fucking Rittenhouse trial, became politicized.
Yeah.
And polarized, and you're doing the same shit.
Yeah. Okay. And like, listen, I'm ready to, like, if you can give me a good enough reason, yeah, okay, I'll be like, shit, that was stupid of me. I rescind it, right? But from what my position, what I can see is that as far as cause and effect goes, right, as far as karma goes, as far as real actual justice goes, if you have a side that continues to use their power unchallenged and unabated, they will continue.
What power are you talking about? What are you talking about specifically? What their power unchallenged, unabated? Like, what specifically are you referring to?
Okay, well, earlier when you said he was LARPing, who was he LARPing at?
He was LARPing as a militia guy, libertarian militia guy,
basically, right?
Huh?
Yeah, he's basically LARPing as a cop because all the
no, not really.
Well, okay, so really he's okay. Actually, that is unfair. You're right. He's more LARPing as like a National Guard because I remember when Ferguson happened, National Guard rolled up with assault rifles.
No, that's not how they actually see it. So this is one of the things about the miscommunication I'm talking about. They don't see it that way. They see themselves as freedom-fighting militiamen who are fighting an authoritarian government, and they're that's how they see it. They don't see it like as acting on behalf of the authorities.
Have you? Okay, so you got Twitter brain, man. I'm sorry to say this, but you got Twitter brain. Okay,
dude, you have Twitter brain. You just adopted the position that you want you want the death penalty for like an 18-year-old kid. For absolutely no discernible reason.
Oh, I got my reasons. I just named 3. 2 of them you named for me.
Okay, what are the... So the 2 reasons I named for you was pointless tribalism. And the second one was... What? Virtue signaling? So what's the third one? Like, what is the third reason you have?
Well, other than he also deserves it because he's a Nazi who murdered humans.
Okay.
Also, to terrify anybody who would align themselves politically with him.
Yeah, but that wouldn't be the effect of him being executed. You know that, right?
No, we don't do it.
You're just going to inflame tensions way more than they already are.
Yes. Yes, I am. That's the whole point, dude. Like, that's what you talk about every fucking stream, is getting people mad enough to fucking act. And here I am, mad enough to say something edgy, and then you're gonna be like, whoa, bro, calm down, man. Shut the fuck up, Oz. Come on, bro. What the fuck is your problem?
What I'm fucking trying to say is that if that kind of shit happens, you are going to see a level of resistance and pushback from rural America, and I don't want to fucking see that happen right now, because I think if a civil war broke out in this country, it would unleash a lot of ugly forces. And I want to win over the people to the Communist Party, and I don't want them to be led along by these like opportunistic elements leading them through a civil war, which I think is going to be completely pointless and very ugly. So I don't want to see that right now. I want to be able to have a chance to win people over first, so this civil war doesn't happen. Or at least,
God forbid them storming the Capitol, right? Oh wait, oh shit, that already happened, didn't it? For much petty.
And if you thought storming the Capitol was bad, then if they executed Rittenhouse, dude,
what would happen?
It would be much worse.
Okay, what would be it? What would it?
Much worse.
Okay, so you are now. You're using your massive amount of intelligence and empathy on these people who do not deserve it, right? Like,
you mean 50% of the country? Right? You're talking about 50% of the country.
Like, yeah, okay, 50%. Yeah, and
Dude,
I'm
you're
saying
being
it's
played like a
50%.
fiddle in a game that you don't even fucking understand. You realize that this game that you're being played is you're turning against 50% of people. You don't even know why you fucking hate them.
First off, I'm more of a gamer than you'll ever be, so don't tell me I'm getting played. All right, 1v1 me Rocket League. I will literally coach you in Rocket League, and I'll tell you who the gamer is. All right. Second, what fucking game? You're gonna talk about politics, the political game? You mean when in 2005 I woke up on a Sunday morning and they were executing Saddam Hussein live on fucking cable television? You're gonna tell me that I don't know that I'm getting played by the game after I've listened to you talk for hundreds of hours? Come on, man.
No,
Come
you
on,
don't
dude.
know the fucking game about how you're getting whipped up on this fake polarization and being taught to hate people you don't even know or understand or have any reason to hate.
I look, I did my research, my quick little research. I go on this little website. I don't know if you've heard of it. It's called 4chan, and they got this
No, it's not
politics
about
thing,
fucking
right?
4chan, okay?
And you go on there, and you
4chan, those
see,
people are in fucking
okay,
Silicon Valley and fucking basements and shit. They're nerds. The real
right?
fucking people that are whipped up by the fucking Rittenhouse, most of them are good people that feel like they're under attack, and they feel like the Democrats are using extra paramilitary violence to crack down on dissent, and they're actually good people who feel like they're under assault and under attack, and you're honestly vindicating their fucking feelings.
Oh, by saying that a murderer deserves to die by the state,
He was acting in self-defense. He didn't go out of his way to
murder.
murder
Oh,
people.
so self-defense doesn't mean murder. Those people are still alive. Come on.
No, self-defense does not mean murder, actually.
Uh, okay. Well, I don't give a shit about whatever the justice system or whatever grammar Nazis have to say about whatever. I know that when I see somebody walking in public with an assault rifle, I know, like I said, to get out of their line of sight. Because I know that they have the ability to very easily fucking murder me. And when I'm on
Someone
my
with a
bicycle,
car
I know to
also
stay
has
off
that
the
ability.
highway
Hold on.
because I'll get
So
run over.
does that mean when you see someone driving with a car, you immediately like run the other way? You don't even go near them at all? Like if someone's driving past you on the
Yes.
sidewalk, the fact that they could ram into you if
Yes.
they did a
I
right
literally
turn.
bicycle everywhere. I've bicycled for 7 years now. I haven't had a car in that same amount of time.
Well, they
And
can.
any
If you're
single
on a
time I'm on my
bicycle, a car
bicycle,
could easily inflict a lot of harm on you.
yeah, I know. That's why. No, that's why I yell at my my local uh like I'm losing it here. My local community because they put little dismount zone stickers on the sidewalks, and they said, "Hey, if you're on your bicycle, you got to dismount when you're on the sidewalk." And I'm like, "Fuck no! I'm not gonna put my ass out there on the line to get run over by a fucking car when I have the ability and option to ride my bike on a sidewalk." Like, and I think it's insane that they would rather have me get run over by a fucking car than me what bump into an
Yeah,
old
what
lady
does
who
that
has
have to do with the point?
the point is, I see violent. I see the ability for high velocity lead to be to infiltrate your fucking brain and your skull. And I think if you play that up at all, you're a psychopath.
First of
And
all,
if
why
you
the
finish
fuck?
through with it, you're definitely a psychopath and a murderer, and you not only deserve prison, but most likely the death penalty.
Just
Which,
for so you
again,
believe that anyone who does open carry deserves the death penalty?
they are closer to deserving the death penalty than somebody who isn't.
And why? And that's because they make you feel threatened.
Absolutely.
Okay,
It's
well,
attempted murder. If
so
I see
and
somebody, look, I've played enough games. I know. I've seen. I haven't shot a gun because fuck that shit, right? Like I don't even want the ability to pull the trigger and have it blow my fucking hand off because the chamber's probably fucked up or whatever. I know power, right? And I know you know power too, and I know that it's fucking silly. It's silly. It's Twitter shit to go on the defense for this guy. Right?
dude, it's not about
Like,
defense or not defense. It's about how you're supposed to react to it. And the way you're supposed to react to this is not to fucking advocate for him to be fucking executed. That's the
why?
dumbest shit I've ever heard.
Well, then change my mind, bro.
change your mind. First of all, he's not going to get executed. There's no way you're going to be able to fucking...
No, you're right. It's illegal. They don't have capital punishment.
Yeah, you're not going to like convince the judge to do that.
Right.
So what is the point of advocating for that? Why do you need to see that happen?
To scare anybody who would
You're not going to scare people. You're just going to fucking outrage people even more. You're not going to scare them. You're going to outrage them even more.
Look how many people, like, why are you guys so against capital punishment then? If the state keeps killing people, but then you can't say the state can kill people sometimes, you know, like the one time. Like, I'm not saying the state should go out and fucking start murking people because they already are without trial, right? But I'm saying if it already exists, why can't we, when we find one final, like one piece of, like one situation, like Derek Chauvin, right? Like Zimmerman, right? Of killing a fucking kid, like, or a kid even going out and killing.
Okay, listen. I'm not against capital punishment, but the only meaning of what you're basically saying is basically that since there's so much injustice going on, we should actually just execute someone who's acting in self-defense just to make it even. And I think that's really fucking stupid, actually. Like, I think it's stupid to try and be like, oh, okay, well, if a certain group is experiencing a lot of pain and suffering, we should just extend that to everyone. Isn't the goal to stop the injustice and not spread the injustice?
Well, I think the entire notion of justice is fucked up, especially in this country.
Then why the fuck are you advocating for the fucking death? Then why the fuck are you advocating for the fucking death penalty?
Because I want to scare the people into not doing what he did. Right?
You're not gonna fucking scare anyone. We already fucking went over this.
Okay. So, all right, fine. Just even though your chat and any conservative chat that I even suggest the death penalty for fucking Zimmerman, Chauvin, the guy who killed Tamir Rice, fucking, any killer cop, right? Like, or especially Rittenhouse, you're telling me that
Rittenhouse is not a killer cop. Here's the difference in all those cases. In those other cases, you had cops or so-called community watch acting brazenly and because of racial prejudices and shit that executed what was effectively children, right? And then in the case of Rittenhouse, it was a case of white-on-white violence where other white political agents who were super outraged and trying to act on behalf of a people that they don't belong to, and who didn't ask them to do that, went and violently attacked Rittenhouse just because they had a fucking boner to LARP some violence.
Yeah. Okay, so you're going to tell me that...
I honestly think the entire lesson from this thing is we need to really discuss the fucking boner for violence Antifa has.
Oh yeah, that's the real problem. Hey,
it is. It honestly is.
Antifa,
because I used to be. Listen, I used to be part of. I used to be part of left wing like groups and shit, and they do look for excuses to just throw down. They just want any fucking excuse to just have an adventure,
like strapping on an AK and going to a protest, right?
No, I mean like going to a protest and just like throwing bricks at people or just randomly just doing brutal shit. Bicycle chains and shit. Like, why do you need to do that?
Fucking what are you saying? Like, okay, if you go to any other country and they're anti-American, are they Antifa?
No.
Why not?
Because Antifa is a very specific thing I'm talking about in the U.S., where a bunch of soy males who are 99% gyno their whole fucking life get a 1% chance to LARP and simulate some masculinity in their life, but they do it in the most soy way, and it's really cringe.
How would you do it? How'd you do it differently? How should we fix them?
There's no need for Antifa in this country. There's no fascists in America.
You're saying delete them?
What?
How are you going to delete Antifa from America? How are you going to delete Antifa Americans?
I'm saying we should just ignore them.
Oh, okay. Block them on Twitter. Cool.
Yes.
Yeah.
Unironically.
Twitter brand you got there, man.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. What? Antifa, gone. I don't think about them. I don't have to worry about it, except when I'm defending Kyle Rittenhouse.
Because they're the ones who are responsible for the fucking violence.
They're the ones responsible for getting themselves murdered. Absolutely, I agree with you.
If they were attacking him, yes, they were. They were attacking him.
Yeah, if you like, I'm agreeing with you. If you bring your fist to a gunfight, you're probably gonna die. Like, yeah, okay, great job, man. You fucking Sherlock over here. Like, it doesn't matter because he went to a protest in public with an assault rifle as a civilian.
Oh my fucking god! Okay, what's your point?
Well, your point is that you're literally attacking Antifa for what Rittenhouse actually literally did. Like, you're saying, oh, they go to protest just
because they fucking attacked him. They fucking attacked him.
Poor Kyle, he got attacked. He should blow people's heads off.
Well, dude, they're brutal. Those fucking Antifa people are fucking brutal, dude. They're very vicious and fucking brutal.
Oh, yeah, man. I've seen a lot of black eyes from Antifa. I mean,
hey, hold on, dude, literally. I literally went on Kiana's show 3 months ago, and I literally had thousands of people talking about fucking rape fantasies and, like, murder fantasies against me because of that fucking video. How the fuck do you think these people act in real life when they really are convinced you're a white supremacist Nazi and anything goes?
You know what might stop them? Threat of the death penalty. That might stop them. I know threat of prison isn't enough, right? Even though America...
The people who need to be stopped are the fucking Listen, the people who need to be stopped are the fucking psycho deranged lefties who have this sadistic anti-human impulse of wanting to literally destroy, torture, and kill people.
Okay. Like, so I've heard you say this a lot, and you liken a lot of American alt-right liberals to leftists, which is weird because, like, what are you then?
I'm an international leftist.
Okay, an international left. Okay, right. So how do we get more Americans to be international leftists?
Well, the people that you're going to draw from in America who are going to be more like the left in other countries are going to be like these militia Trump type of people. They're not going to be fucking, these fucking Portland, Oregon fucking Antifa LARPers. They're going to be rural people.
I agree. The American hegemony, right, is completely fucked. Like, if you want to get into America, you're probably fucked in the head because you want to be like Americans. And what Americans are like are fucking insane Nazis, basically. We're nationalist authoritarian cunts who will do anything, like cross state lines with an assault rifle to shoot people to defend somebody.
Dude, there's no indication that Rittenhouse had any intention to shoot anyone. He was the 17-year-old kid who was LARPing. That's all he was doing was LARPing.
With an assault rifle in public.
Yeah, that's an American thing.
Yes, and American public is a threat.
When Americans bring assault rifles in public, when Americans bring assault rifles in public, they very, very rarely ever expect they're actually going to use them.
Okay, so when you're lamenting the fact that you got chat-botted by a bunch of assholes threatening you in DMs, right? And that's definitely a threat, yeah. If you saw one of them walking in public with an assault rifle, what would you do?
Them specifically?
Yeah.
I would probably, if they were that deranged, they were probably going to use it.
Yeah, so what would you do, Haas?
What? I would probably run away, but what is fucking the indication? What's the indication?
I just, like, if I do anything here today, if I don't change my line of thinking, if you don't change your line of thinking, all I want to do is tell your 540 people in chat, if you see somebody with a firearm in public, line of sight, get the fuck behind something and get the fuck out of there as soon as possible. Because then they can't shoot you because they won't notice you. And if they do, they'll hit something. And the chance of ricochet...
Well, listen, context is very important. Very rarely... I've never really heard of open carry people actually using or discharging their firearms. But I don't... Like, people bring firearms to protests all the time. Even black nationalists do it too. So I don't really know, like... Yeah.
No, I'm all about it, man. John Brown, dude. If I weren't a massive pussy... If I had the balls...
Chill. Charmhole. Twitch TOS.
Well, no, I'm just saying I would like to liberate American prison, right? Like I think
No,
that a
no,
lot
dude,
of
shut the fuck up. Shut the
I can't
fuck
say
up.
that. All right,
No,
well,
you
sorry.
can't.
Well, okay, well then, if I wasn't a giant pussy, what I would open carry in public? No, fuck that. I'm like that's an insane thing to do. That's something insane people fucking do. Like in the fact that you're like trying to defend the open carries, like I understand. Like if I were you, I probably would too. Like if I was really in the public eye, I'd be like, hell
Listen,
yeah, guns
listen.
are
Let me
awesome.
actually be
I'll
clear
give it a
about
shot.
this. Whether I want to, it's not that I want to defend or oppose open carry. It's that I think it's a cultural thing in America. Now, should it be changed somehow? I don't know. I don't know how it could be changed, but it's not going to be changed when you individualize it and make it seem like it's just a matter of like an individual choosing to do that. No, there's a context of a cultural precedent that gives it a different meaning. Now, how could that change? Is it something healthy? Is it good? I don't exactly know. And it's not really particularly relevant to me. All I'm trying to say is you can't hold Rittenhouse accountable for the precedent of open carry culture we already have in America.
So he just gets a pass.
Yeah,
All right. Well, here's the great thing about this kind of argument that I've taken a part of for like a decade now is that don't you worry, it's going to happen again. And we're going to have the same discourse very
well,
shortly
yeah, I
about
actually
some
think
other
the
shit. So
agents who
don't you
could
worry,
have. I
buddy.
think the agents. So here's what you're really missing here. Rittenhouse was a 17-year-old child, right? As a 17-year-old, his ability to make choices is severely incapacitated. But the people who attacked Rittenhouse were grown men who had priors of child abuse and domestic abuse. And those were grown adult men. So I think Antifa needs to take a step back and ask itself the question of A, why is it making the adult choice to go to protest and instigate violence with people just because they disagree with them politically? And B, why are they so eager to embrace or adopt all of these like scumbags into their ranks?
Okay. So a 13-year-old with an assault rifle starts walking toward you with a deranged look in his face, and you're going to
Well, if
get
he
out of line of
listen,
sight, right? Yeah.
the context is that it's unpredictable. But in the case of that protest, it's very predictable that those people were just there to open carry and LARP as militiamen.
Right. Yeah. So basically asking for it, right?
So you know the people who were victims of Rittenhouse, right?
I mean, I do now, yeah.
One of them was a
The one
pedophile
who
who
had his
raped. They
face
raped
blown
an
off. No, I
11-year-old.
know what you're gonna fucking say, and I like. Okay, fine. All Antifa are rapist pedophiles. Sure, I don't
That's.
fucking
I'm
care.
not even saying that. I'm just saying
Okay,
one of
sure,
the victims
whatever,
of
dude.
Rittenhouse was a
Okay,
pedophile, raped
yeah,
an
okay.
11-year-old child. The other one had priors of
Thank
domestic
God. All right.
abuse.
So are we allowed to say? Is it Twitch TOS to say thank God he's fucking dead?
Probably, so don't say it.
Okay,
But
so when we talk about this shit, right? You know, it's incredible to me that you're like, hey, this dude who assaulted a 17-year-old was a bad dude. Oh well, could have guessed. Oh hey, this guy who was at a protest ready to fuck shit up, right? He's actually a bad guy. Whoa, no way, dude! I couldn't even know. Like, yeah, no shit, man.
so why does Rittenhouse have to be
Everybody at this
attacked?
shit
Why does he have to be
aren't good
attacked?
people. Like most people who do this shit aren't good people, right? Like, yeah.
I just think the left has a violence problem of just wanting to attack people.
Right, and you're using that to defend Ridden.
Listen, here's the thing: is that the thing is the reason I can critique leftists is because
Yeah.
I haven't accomplished yet, and I'm trying to reaching out to people like Rittenhouse or rural people and those militia people where I can have an audience with them. But right now, I do have an audience with leftists, and I that's why I'm so willing to critique leftists and not so much the right wingers. The right wingers aren't listening to me right now. I do have the attention of the leftists, though. So I want to ask the question: is why are leftists so? Why do they get such a big boner at this idea of committing all this violence? Because that's something I
I don't know,
can.
video games. No, it's because American public fucking school fetishizes this shit. All right, like we know. We know that when we're in American public school, we're taught the wrong definition of propaganda. We think that propaganda is when you got war posters arguing against the other side. No, all propaganda is advertisement. right? And nobody's immune to propaganda. And when you go to school and you put your hand over the heart and you pledge allegiance to the flag, and then you learn all about World War II and how Thanksgiving is based, turkeys, haha, like yeah, or like we're fed this shit at a very young age, every single one, from leftist to rightist, right, in America. So when you're going to say something like we need to change, right? I agree. We do need to change this stuff. How do we change it? By lending out a hand and saying,
Well,
hey,
how about stop assuming that, like, stop engaging in this adventurous violence where you just feel like you have an enemy in 50% of the people and you have to go and attack them. I think, I don't understand why leftists have such a hard time sitting down and talking to people who disagree with them politically and ideologically. I just don't get it. Why is there just this inability to just
they're not leftists.
Hear other people's perspectives?
They're not leftists. American leftists don't exist. Like I said, you're the only American leftist. If I try to name another one, I could. Hassan owns a $3 million house now. I can't say him anymore. Like I don't know. And if you do know, please tell me because I will follow them immediately.
Oh, Jackson Hinkle.
I already followed him, so I guess there's two. Never mind. All right. So we got two American leftists, true leftists
on Twitch.
This
yeah.
left lib shit. Cool. All right. We got two out of 300 million. We're getting there, buddy.
Yeah, on Twitch.
Yeah. No, I keep getting banned from all these liberal spaces, and they keep saying I'm racist. They keep saying they'll call me a pedophile too. Like, they don't give
Who
a
did?
Shit, right? Fucking anybody, man. Doobie's crew, Destiny's crew. Like, it doesn't matter, man. Like, all they care about is making sure they can secure the bag with proper AdSense and proper subscriptions and proper propaganda for themselves. Right? Like, that's all Twitch cares about. That's what most YouTube cares about, right?
Holy.
Like, and you're one of the few people who, obviously you can say, like, hey, if I give you my money, you're going to use it properly. And you will. Like, and I truly believe that. And people should use their Primes right now because it's free. If you have Amazon Prime, you can literally subscribe for free right now. So, like, and you should donate at infrared.gg and go and donate because, like I said, I believe this. I believe in you.
Why were you banned? Why were you banned from the Discord again?
Because I said I had a lot of sex. I said and they called me a slut, and I was like, hell yeah, I'm a slut, and then they banned me because they were like, that's crazy.
Oh, aren't you the guy with like 900 bodies or whatever?
Whoa, no, God, only 100. And I did beat you in that debate, and I beat you in this one too.
No, you did not beat me in that debate. I remember now.
Yeah. No,
actual legit Kumso.
Yeah, you're right, I'm a Kumso. You're goddamn right. I'm right.
Do you use protection every single time?
I used to. I don't anymore. No.
What?
No. Zerka saved you. I just want to shout out Zerka. The only reason I'm doing this is so I can get closer to him because he's my boy. He's the only leftist in Canada, okay? And Zerka saved your ass.
Right? How did he save me?
Because you had a happy Halloween, buddy.
Shut the fuck up, bro.
Yeah, Yeah. We know. We all.
Oh, shut the fuck up. What are you even...
You got some treats. No tricks, right? Woo. Yeah, Zerka saved your ass, and we all love him for it. I really do.
Bro, you fucking out of... Stop. You're literally out of bounds right now. You're literally beyond fucking sanity right now.
I know. Look, I know I'm crazy. I should change my name to Crazy Hole, all right? Like, I know this. I'm a product of American engineering. Like, this is it, buddy. So, thank you again. I appreciate you for having me on. And I appreciate you, everything you do. I think you're wrong here.
All right, we're still not even a step closer to why you have the views you do, but...
no, look, again, main thing I hope everybody knows, if you see some asshole with an assault rifle in public, line of sight, LOS, get the fuck out of there. That's number one. Number two, one of the largest unions, the largest independent union in the United States is the police union, Fraternal Order of Police, okay? And the reason is because the justice system in America is anything but. What it means is that justice is your land. And your land is everything. And if you own land, you effectively own the police. Okay? This is what I'm trying to say. This is what he was LARPing as. He was LARPing as a policeman. He was LARPing as a militiaman. Okay? Like, if you own land, you own the police. And we're fighting from behind. If you even attempt to be an American leftist, we're fighting from so far behind. We're generations behind, right? So all I'm trying to do is to argue past what the arguments are. I'm trying to go past them so then we can bring the median or the average political discourse more to the left. Yes, I know it's crazy ultra leftist. Yes, I'm aware, right? But that's because I'm able to do it. I can get away with it. I can say unequivocally, Derek Chauvin, cops who kill, if you live by the state, if you kill by the state, you die by the state. All right.
Okay,
I don't think
that you're talking about legally, like you believe they should have the penal execution. But listen, listen, I don't. That's a weird view, I guess. Like,
true.
It's also
Nobody
vain
else has
because you
it.
don't have any power, so it just doesn't even make a difference practically.
Well, okay, but when you say making a difference, what I'm trying to say is, dude, Gaylord, that's funny, but okay, no,
okay, dude.
So what I'm trying to say is, when the real difference here is the real change that's being had, okay, that's being made, is trying to move the discourse further to the left. How do we do that? And one of the things I think we can do is by saying insane shit like cops who kill deserve the death penalty.
Okay, like I don't agree with that. I don't agree with by you're gonna change the Overton window by being like, that's like people who said Bernie was the compromise and it was a total catastrophe and failure. Success doesn't come from being extremely left and outrageous. Success comes from having a tempered relationship with the people.
Low and steady wins the race. I agree. We need to change the direction of entire generations, not just the minds of assholes on Twitter. So what I'm trying to say here is, I know this is a long fight, and it starts with us and it starts now. And I know it's really hard and it's scary. Like I kind of freak myself out too, because like I'm pretty anti-cop. It'd be very easy for a cop to be anti-Charmhole and get away with it, like. So,
listen, the chat doesn't hate you, but you just have very extreme takes.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I know. I got banned off Twitter for defending Islam, dude.
Like, tomorrow at 7 p.m. EST, we're having the showdown.
All right.
Are you coming?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, I will DM you an invite, or DM me on Twitter, and I'll DM you an invite to the Discord.
I'm banned on Twitter.
Fuck? Why are you banned on Twitter?
Because I just told you, I was defending Islam. Richard Dawkins was calling all Muslims evil and retarded, and I said, why are you saying this stuff?
Okay, I'll send you a friend request now and just invite you to the fucking Discord.
All right, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Accept the friend request.
Yes. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Wait, what should I call it? Wait, my con, right? Are you my con?
Yes. Did you accept the request?
My con, I accepted your request.
Okay, hold on. Profile. Send message. Okay, this is the Discord to the showdown.
All right, cool. Thank you so much.
Okay, bye.